Here, and I'm gonna try doing it this way up here. After the game, we went to bed. Now, you already told me that the subject, we, and the verb went can be removed. I have two prepositional phrases. One way to cheat the language, by the way, and to make it easier, is to take a look at your commas. What do you see? Do you see anything right obviously? Gregory, you got one for me? There's one. And I am going to highlight that here. And just for fun, I'm going to make it blue. For my purposes, and I know I'll screw this up, blue is what I'm putting an adverb phrase in. I could move that to the end. We went to bed after the game. It doesn't need to be there. That's why you have a comma there. Did anybody, by the way, find another adverb phrase here? You know your subject is we, and the verb is went. Where'd we go? There's another one right there. I have two adverb phrases. So I go back to what I was babbling about before. Students walk in here and they're pretty good at a couple of things. Figuring out the subject, who we're talking about, usually the verb, a little more difficult, but mostly not hard to find action. Pull those elements out and you're going to find descriptive stuff. Now that I have a mic on, I have to cough. Excuse me. There. All right. Now, number two. The car on the lot had a new paint job. Which car are we talking about, Nathaniel? On the lot. Look at that. I'm going to make that red. Simple primary colors. That works out fine. I don't have another prepositional phrase there. That isn't a phrase that's going to move around. I suppose if I moved it around, I rewrite the sentence, it becomes an adverb and it sort of tells me where the action took place. I'm talking about this specific car on the lot. Not doing something on a parking lot somewhere, something happening there. We ate chili at the coffee shop. Who did? We. What's the verb? Ate. What did we eat, by the way? Good enough. Subject, verb, direct object. What's the prepositional phrase that follows? At the coffee shop. Now we're on. Sam's back online here. Okay, at the coffee shop. The clock on the wall was not set. What is my subject? Clock. I don't know if the clock is doing anything. Was anything done to it? Was not set. Yeah, I'm sure somebody hung it, but was not set. That's called a passive verb. I'll worry about verbs at a different time. Rayanne, which clock are we talking about? On the wall. If it's George Webb's, there's two of them. All right. On the wall doesn't get to move. It tells me which clock we're talking about. The towel was hanging over the sink. What was? Who or what am I talking about here? Towel. What was it doing? Hanging. Was hanging. Good enough. Helping verb. Where was it hanging? That's going to be an adverb. Hey, I've gotten through 5 sentences and I haven't screwed up my colors yet. Yay me. All right. If it's blue, I have an adverb. Okay? The tire on the passenger side had a nail in it. I've actually got two here. Anybody got one for me? Lori? The tire is going to be my subject. Had is going to be my verb. What it had was a nail. If I remove all that stuff, on the passenger side, kind of important if you're thinking about a tire to know which one. So I'm specifically going to say tire on the passenger side. Unfortunately, it appears to be a 3-wheeled vehicle with only one tire on that side, the way this is written. But anyway, What is the other prepositional phrase? Maybe it's a tricycle. I don't know. Anyone? A little bit further. I have a one right here. The reason I have an asterisk, this is for my own edification. You're not really looking at a worksheet so much here. You're looking at my script. And God knows, as Rayanne will attest to, if I'm not on script, I'm going to wander all over the place. Where I have an asterisk here, it tends to draw my attention to something I want to think about. Like, hey, dummy, there's two in this. Make sure you don't miss it. Not that I'm not perfectly rehearsed here or something. All right. The kid across the street is Robert. Subject is kid. All the way at the end of my sentence is the verb is. The kid is whom? Robert. There's my predicate noun. Almost said direct object there. Which kid am I talking about? Across the street. Rayanne's very animated back there, which makes me think this is starting to be sort of easy. How many people are following this pretty well? Making sense? Anybody, Nathaniel, you okay with this? Okay. So I don't, for the record, see anybody's eyes spinning like pinwheels or anything. Okay. It's a good sign. It's also a cue that I need to talk faster. Okay. Which is fine. We're at 6:36 here if anyone's paying attention. 8 of my absences were not excused. Oh my! This is a class which allows 3 absences. But anyway, oh, look at that look on his face. All right. I have one prepositional phrase here. Students hate it when my subject is a number, like 8. Not 8 days or 8 sessions, but 8. I'm using a prepositional phrase then to explain what kind of 8. What is that prepositional phrase? Gesundheit. What is the prepositional phrase that tells me what kind of 8? Lori, I think I heard it from you. Of my absences. Is that what you said? Perfect. Get ready to teach the class. Again, when students see a number like that, what they kind of need to pay attention to, I cheat a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm team teaching the class that begins next week, so maybe I shouldn't say this on tape. I always think of the number as something pretty much like an indefinite pronoun. I need explanation. 8 what? 8 days, 8 classes, something. A prepositional phrase, of my absences, is what pops right there. Okay? Since Thursday, I've done a lot of thinking. I've got 2 in here. Did you say thinking? Give me the whole phrase, and you're there. You got the paper in front of you! Of thinking. Is that what I heard you say? When did this happen? Since Thursday. I'm going to push for the whole phrase, but yeah. How am I doing on colors here? I haven't screwed that up, have I? I have an adverb phrase, since Thursday, and I've got an adjective phrase, of thinking. We diagram sentences for fun. No, we didn't. Who's the subject here? We. What did we do? What did we diagram? Subject, verb, complement. What's left? And there you go. If you've ever spoken to a toddler, they want to know why. I defy you to answer that in one word. You will be using, more than one word, an adverb phrase, maybe an adverb clause, in order to try to explain. Adverb phrases or clauses will attempt to address why, for fun. Okay, a reason. Can't do it in one word. The guy ran for office. Who did? Guy. What'd the guy do? Why did he? Too much. He ran. Why did he run, Lori? You had it. You had it. For office. It's what you said, Lori. I have to make sure the verb doesn't show up in there. Okay? Oh, what'd I say? Blue, right? Did I keep my colors right? Really? Almost like I've been doing this for a few weeks. What just happened there? Get back there. All right. Tests on Monday are cruel. I wonder if I can scroll this down at all. Hey, I can do that. Um, what am I talking about in number 12? Tests. My verb is all the way at the end. Are. Tests. Subjects are. I need a complement. Are what? Something that's left over is going to be my prepositional phrase. What is it? On Monday. Tells me which particular test we're talking about. And finally, at last we're done. Cheat. Use your comma. At last. Very good, Gregory. Now, here's the thing. Before I pull this out, look at that. Sam's already packed up and out the door. If I look at this, and it does not come instinctively to me to sit at my desk here, I want you to look at something like number 12 or 7 or even 8. Those adjective phrases. In that particular pattern, which happens an awful lot, I want you to notice visually there something that is very true. Adjectives have a pretty strong tendency to interrupt. They get between my subject, 8, and my verb, were. You can move adverbs around, but adverbs don't essentially need to interrupt. It's sort of the nature of an adjective phrase to get in the way. If it's describing a subject, it comes between the subject and the verb very often. You're going to hear me ramble about that a lot. If I can move my description around, I probably have an adverb. If I can take this phrase and move it from the front and back and not disturb my subject, verb, and all the other parts of the sentence, it's an adverb. But if it's interrupting, it probably is describing in very specific ways that subject, the who or what. It doesn't get to move. That's what I want to draw on here. All right, very good.